Hey, this is a podcast. No, wait, it's a comedy podcast. Well, we tried to make it a comedy podcast, and it's not meant to offend anyone. So don't get offended, okay? And wait, there's something else. Oh, yeah, yeah. Listener discretion is advised.
Audiomatic presents Our Last Week.
Hi, Kunal.
Hi, Pal.
There's a conundrum in my head.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me what the best nuts are for fiber? Nuts that have fiber in them. These are the things that have kept me up.
Nuts that have fiber.
Yeah.
Oh, fiber. It's a tough one, yeah.
I don't want to
I
Google it
guess.
because I often turn to you for information and you have often given me information.
How about a goat's nuts? A goat's
No, no,
nuts might have fiber.
I don't eat an animal's testicles. As in,
Yeah,
this is not that kind of podcast.
I mean they're very tasty, and like nuts are tasty things. Whether they're animals or of a tree, they're tasty,
See, nuts and seeds are rich in fiber, okay? So, like, I want to say maybe almonds or whatever.
right?
Those things have fiber in them, but I don't know where I'll find a goat, and then how will I find a goat's balls and
See, I know that the healthiest kind of nuts are animal nuts. Okay. Those nuts are very healthy.
but
And I'm
they,
not being like liver king or something over here. They're genuinely healthy things. Liver, nuts, all of these things, are heart, all of these things are genuinely healthy. I mean, in reasonable quantities. But if you're not going to eat that, if you're not going to eat like a bull's testicles or whatever it is,
but the average
then
dry fruits place near my house
yeah.
will not have a bull's testicle. Like, he's not going to be like, I've got some almonds, pistachio, and I have the giant balls of a Spanish bull. Like, he doesn't keep those things. He's a conservative, vegetarian
See,
Gujarati
it's
man.
ironic, and I know I've mentioned this before. It's ironic because the place that I get my nuts from,
Yeah.
it's at Kemp's Corner. I think it's called Tasty Nuts.
Okay.
It's
Okay.
called it's
Okay.
called Tasty Nuts, and I half expected him to have all nuts,
Yes.
but he had only ones that come from the plant kingdom. He didn't have any other kinds of nuts from the animal kingdom.
But anyway, I don't know how we got here. I just wanted to know about nuts.
So I would say that a
Yeah.
handful of nuts
Yeah.
from the plant kingdom, a
Yeah.
handful of nuts is a good thing to have every day. And I have heard that things like cashew are a little bit high in fat. Um, but I mean, I'm sure like 2, 3 are not going to harm anyone. So you can
But
have peanuts, cashew nuts,
see, I've always wanted to have
almonds.
almonds and pistachio because I like the word pistachio.
Pistachio is a great word, yeah.
If I don't have children, but if I had a child, I'd name him or her pistachio. Doesn't matter the gender.
Pistachio pal.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
It has a certain like Italian sort of
Yeah.
twang to it.
Yeah.
Pistachio pal, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if you had another kid, could you call it Pistachio Roy Kapoor?
No, I see. I don't use the word pistachio. I find it too long. I just say pista.
Oh, you don't say the
Yeah,
whole word
it pista is a whole word, but it's in a different language. Pista. It's the word in Hindi or in Urdu or whatever.
for
Pista.
pistachio.
Yeah, pista.
Oh, why is it not Shio?
Because shio is the Western word for it. Pista is just the. I mean, pista. Yeah, it's like when you ask for pista ice cream, you don't say pistachio ice cream. You say pista.
I always say pistachio ice cream.
It's. I mean, anywhere here it's pista.
I'm not sure, I'm not sure I should participate in this abbreviation.
It's not an abbreviation. It's a word on its own.
Oh, it's like a well known thing.
It's a word. It's not a well-known thing. It's a word. It's like you arguing with me whether badam is a word. Is badam a word?
No, but badam is a word, but it's like if someone just calls it bada or bad.
No, but badam is the word, and then it's almond in English. The same way it's pistachio and pista.
See, there are things we do to words that I find very confusing. But anyway, the problem I think we've still solved is that the two things I should eat for good fiber are almonds and pistachios. And
Right.
if I can get hold of it, the balls of a buffalo
Yeah.
in the same shop.
Just next to the walnuts, which are also very healthy and tasty.
Very
You
healthy.
can have walnuts as well.
And some kishmish.
Oh, I love kishmish.
I love kishmish also. That I would 100% name my child that.
See, now kishmish is the word. Like when you say pista and kishmish, you
Yeah.
don't say pista, like you don't say pistachios and raisins. That's what you would otherwise say in English.
I
It's
always see. I didn't know
pista,
this.
badam.
So I thought that pistachio, like some people just fucked with the word and called it pista. I didn't know it
No,
was a
no.
full word.
It's a full word.
But anyway, so I'll take those for fiber, and I'll ask the shopkeeper if he's got some balls of a buffalo.
Yeah.
He may not invite me back to the shop though.
No. But he might tell you where it's available and then you'll get good fiber.
He might he might direct me. He might
Yeah.
direct me somewhere. Last question.
Yes.
I wasn't planning to spend this much time on fiber and nuts. Last question. Do you think if I had a child, it should be called pistachio pal or kishmish pal?
Pistachio pal is a much nicer ring to it, you know.
Kishmish
I'd go
pal
with the
sounds like
the double
someone
P's.
who's already had a bit of a career as a playback singer.
See, I don't doubt that even if you do call him Pistachio Pal, his pet name will probably be Kishmish. In
Yeah.
Bengalis, you know, they do have a tendency to
Yeah.
to just give a completely unrelated sort of pet name,
Yeah. So you can't
like
win.
Gonto or Booby or
Yeah.
it'll probably end up being Kishmish
I
or
mean,
Mishkesh or just Mish.
by the way, you
Unfortunately,
have a Bengali nickname.
I don't. I don't.
But well, we could just give you one also. Like Bubai or
You
Haba.
can,
We could just give
yeah.
you one.
Haba Baba.
Haba. Every time you go to Cal to promote a film, you must insist. They're like, Kunal Roy Kapoor is here promoting. No, no, please. It's Haba Baba. Please. I'm here
Yeah,
only for one day. It's Haba Baba.
yeah, yeah.
Haba Baba Roy Kapoor.
Haba Baba Bo. Yeah.
Haba Baba. Kunal,
Yes.
I have a confession to make, man. It's a
Okay.
conundrum. It's a conundrum, but it's a
Mm-hmm.
confession more than a conundrum. My confession is I was on a flight. I'm not going to name this person, but I was on a flight
Mm-hmm.
with someone who was, shall we say, tainted
Hmm.
in the MeToo scandal.
Mm-hmm.
And they were sitting next to me, and they were, and my conundrum is not nothing to do with him per se, but what happens if you are on a flight next to a tainted person? Like, let us say, if we're on a flight next to Vijay Mallya or
Hmm.
next to Nirav Modi or Louis C.K., my
Hmm.
conundrum is, do I act normally? Because we sort of know each other. Many years have passed. This person is in hiding in purgatory, whatever you want to call it. He's sold his business. And if you make eye contact with this person and they're like, hello, hello, do you avoid the elephant in the room or do you ride the elephant in the room?
Well, it depends on whether you're going to gain anything from this conversation. You
Hmm.
know, I think it becomes more difficult if you're being introduced to that person in a group or there's a common friend or, you know, where you're forced to interact.
Hmm.
In a flight, I think, you know, it depends on whether you know you want to whether you've actually in the past looked up to this person or you want to know more about the situation or you just want to pull a band-aid off a raw wound and just make that person
So what
suffer.
happened? What happened? Tell me.
Yeah. So dicks, huh?
Just, just sending people photos of your Reproductive organs. Okay. Okay.
So tell me more, yeah. Tell me more.
Yeah. How fucked are you? You have
Yeah.
any money? Just go straight into it. Straight into it.
You can still afford to fly and all, huh?
Yeah,
What
amazing.
do you? Yeah, they're allowing you on planes nowadays. Like, where do you start this conversation if you
I
want to
thought you'd
really?
I thought you'd killed yourself.
You're here with the police, as in, like, what? What is your? You have an
Start there.
escort. What is this thing? So it depends whether you want to just like then. Otherwise, just don't make eye contact and just Or I mean,
Hello.
you could start
Hello, hello,
like
hello. Just from a
yeah.
distance. Hello. Hi.
Hmm.
All well?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, all well. Just how like normal Indians speak to each other at social events.
Yeah.
But I mean, we are all tainted.
We're all tainted, just that our taints are not known.
And our twins are not probably illegal.
Well, they might be, but they're just not public knowledge.
The current by current rules of society,
Current rules.
we haven't we
Current
haven't
rules.
broken any
Yeah.
laws. But who knows?
Yeah.
I bet there are
Who
people who
knows?
will board flights with us, look at us and be like, "You shouldn't have fucking done it."
Yeah.
And you'd be like, "For what? What?" And they're like,
What did
"I
I do?
saw your 1 hour set on the BBC. Shouldn't have done it."
Yeah. Yeah.
Also, what I've realized is tainted people, once they
Hmm.
recognize people who recognize them and start a very polite conversation, they're
Hmm.
also trying to figure out how much you know.
Hmm.
They're like, "Oh, I used to live in Bombay. I was in entertainment." Oh, okay. And after a few
It's over.
years,
I can't interact with this person.
yeah. So the thing is that unless you say something, like, I heard what happened with you and it was very wrong or whatever, then okay, he
Hmm.
knows, but is he on my side? Like that
Hmm.
also
Hmm.
happens
Hmm.
sometimes.
I think one way to play it is that you play them like they're a normal passenger. Like
Hmm.
you don't recognize them. Puts
Hmm.
them at ease, and you also can benefit from like that feigning ignorance.
Hmm.
You just don't know this person from Adam.
Yeah.
So
Going to
then you're like,
Delhi? Going to
can you
Delhi?
just keep my
Yeah.
bag? My
Yeah.
can you open the overhead and just get my black color bag? So you can get into all that and all that. Are you done with the newspaper? Then I'll take it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying just have normal airline kind of conversation, and then you go through the whole thing, and then at the end of the flight, you tell him, "I know who you are, you bastard."
I know who you are, you bastard. That's
Yeah,
a that's a good way to leave the flight. Yeah.
yeah. So let's get into a break.
Yeah. Let's do a break. This is a break.
This is the break.
This is a break.
Welcome to the break.
What was it earlier? Not a break.
That was not a break.
This is a break. During this break, we would like to advertise a product.
What should we advertise?
Hands.
Hands. Yeah.
Hands. Without it,
It's a little tougher.
it's difficult.
Yeah.
Get hands.
Yeah.
Live life to the fullest. Hold things. Touch things. Hands.
Slap
क्या
yourself.
बताऊं?
Yeah.
हाथ के बिना क्या होता है? कुछ नहीं. So, if you don't want to listen to shit ads like this,
Don't listen to these ads.
do something with your life.
Yeah.
Go to patreon.com,
Yeah.
where you will not have to listen to us talking nonsense.
Yeah, and you don't have to listen to this garbage part of the podcast.
This garbage part. You can listen to other garbage parts of the podcast.
and you can listen to it ad free.
ad free, improved, no heart ads.
Nothing.
Yeah.
It'll just flow straight
हमारा
through.
हाथ छोड़ो
Yeah.
and सीधा उधर जाओ.
Yeah. You'll be left alone.
And the best thing is I won't be speaking Hindi
Yeah.
with a colonial accent.
So I mean, anyone would pay for that.
And there should be a cost, and that cost is very minimal
Yes.
for you to be on Patreon, get special episodes, merchandise, live shows,
Yep.
and many other benefits. At some point, you can see us in a live show and come and touch our nose.
No, don't touch the nose.
No, that's not. See, again,
Yeah.
these are not things you'd have to listen to.
You don't have to hear any of this. on
any of this
Patreon.
nonsense. So we are talking badly to tell you what to avoid.
Yeah.
So avoid this.
Avoid this.
Go to
garbage.
patreon.com
/ our last week.
bye.
Bye.
Now I'll talk for another hour, Kunal, so people switch off immediately.
I think we can just do a low hum over here during the ad break.
Shall I read the Hanuman Chalisa?
No. That because that'll get offensive.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Offend.
yeah. To religious and non-religious people.
And to people with ears.
Exactly. Yeah. Con. जरूरत है. That should be an ad for Spotify. Con. लेके आइए. Bye.
Bye.
I have a feeling, this is a conundrum that's been bothering me. I haven't been able to sleep. I have a feeling that dogs think I'm a dog.
Meaning?
Meaning, we've been around this many times. I mean, I know you're trying to be polite about this, but you've seen this. I mean, there are dogs that bark at me only,
Yeah.
right? In a friend's houses.
Hmm.
And I know that now my friends are polite and they haven't said anything,
Hmm.
but I think maybe you had pointed this out a while ago that
Hmm.
the only reason this is happening is because the dog thinks that I could be one of them. And I don't dress like a dog. I mean, like when I'm in my friend's house where the dog is there,
Hmm.
the dog is scared of every other person. Like you're petting the dog, you're tickling its neck, it knows who the alpha is. But with
Yeah.
me, it thinks I'm another dog. Like it starts barking at me, it starts messing with me about territory. Uh,
Yeah, yeah. Dogs get territorial, male,
yeah,
female dogs, any they get very and they know they know, like, if people are sort of uncomfortable or not friendly or this thing, they start getting more suspicious. So I think that, and in any case, if you're giving off that, I know you don't dress like a dog, it's not like you enter people's houses in a costume,
yeah.
but there's some vibe that I think that you must be giving
I
them,
give
which
out.
is like
I give out a dog vibe. I
a
think
doggish kind of vibe. and then
dogish
and
kind
then
of
these
vibe.
dogs also feel the dogs feel that, what is this person, he's definitely not an alpha,
Yeah, and
I'm gonna fuck with him.
he's probably not even a human. Like he's. Uh,
He's some in between sort of thing.
so why will I treat him with the respect I'm treating everybody else? I'll treat him like one of
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
You know. And what is he sitting there
And
eating his
then,
pistachios?
yeah, I think that what you should do
Yeah,
is, I don't know how the host would take it, but maybe you can mark your territory.
just
Maybe piss in the corner of the house or something
just
like that.
urinate in a little. But then that makes me more dog like, no?
That's more dog like, but at least maybe you can, like, be more dominating. So then they won't, they'll know who's boss then.
So the
Maybe
dog
you
will
should
be
just
like,
take something out of their bowl, like take a little food out of their bowl, splash their water.
so the dog will be like, okay, there are now two dogs in this house.
Yeah. The other vibe that I think that you could be giving off, because
Mm,
I haven't seen you as a very dog like sort of thing. Maybe it's a cattish kind of vibe that you're giving,
maybe.
you know because you're constantly scratching, you're
Yeah.
constantly rubbing yourself against the wall,
I'm continually
you
unreliable and unfaithful.
unreliable, unfaithful, and you suddenly lash out at people,
Yeah, yeah,
bitchy,
yeah,
very
yeah. Cat
cat-like
features.
maneuvers, also lazy
Yeah,
stretching.
yeah,
I
yeah.
think it could be that. Maybe you're
Selfish.
giving a
Yeah.
cattish, or my final option is a bird-like vibe.
Yeah, I'm like a krakatoa or a
Like
parrot
one of those birds, yeah. And I think
enter the
they, so
house.
basically what I'm saying, it's some other animal sort of
So
life
obviously
form
a
that I
dog will
feel that
get jealous, no? He'll get pissed off. Be
they
like,
will.
why is
That
this
what is
animal
this animal?
speaking
Yeah.
English and seat at the table? Why is this animal being served a single malt? So I have a final conundrum.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to do some shows in South
Yeah.
India, and a guy came up to me after the show, and he was like, "You have 100% done a show in Mysore."
Hmm.
And I said, "No, I haven't done a show in Mysore." And he said, "You have. You did the show at this Meridian Hotel in Mysore. It was on a date." I said, "There's no way I could have done it on that date." He's like, "No, you've done it." And he kept telling me things I did in a show that I
Hmm.
had not done. And
Hmm.
after
Hmm.
a while, I felt really bad that I was constantly denying this
Hmm.
fiction that he was in.
Hmm.
And you had a suggestion of how I could handle that situation better, because it ended up being quite boring, with him saying I
Hmm.
did it and then him and me saying I didn't. And I thought there's
Hmm.
got to be a better way.
My thing is that in such a situation, like when people say, "Arey, you were in class, we were in class together," and I know that I wasn't in class with that person, they've obviously mistaken my face from something they've seen, and then they and then they're saying, "Oh, we were in school together," or something. I'm like, no, we were not. We were not. I was not in that school. We were not in school together. Of course, we were. How then? Where have I seen you? Like so
Yeah.
then sometimes you just go with the thing, you just go with the Nagpur. Yeah, Nagpur. Yeah, Nagpur. So then I would suggest that then you just start going with it, but you start building it to a point where he starts doubting, so then you
Just
say,
go further.
yeah,
Go
of course, yeah,
further.
I performed, and then we had those 2 3 drinks together. Your wife also was there. She was
And she
hitting on
slapped me.
me.
Remember, she slapped me.
Yeah,
Remember?
yeah. Yeah.
Then that guy will start
Because
getting a little nervous.
nervous, and then he'd be like, no, 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 not that. So yeah, of course that we went and we drove that tractor to your place. You'll be like, huh? So you start building a bigger story, and then
Bigger, bigger.
completely,
And you can see how far we'll go before he'll quietly leave.
yeah. Say no, no, no,
And
and
you
then he'll
can,
be gone.
you can push him to a point where he'll leave you alone.
Yeah.
Speaking of people leaving you alone, you've been having some WhatsApp trouble.
Because we all get these WhatsApp messages, right? Good morning, good evening, and then we have happy New Year, happy Diwali. So this one person who I've worked with in the past, and I'm not very keen. Like, I mean, okay, whatever, but it's a little persistent, these messages.
Yeah.
And so then it goes to happy Gudi Parva. Then but I haven't been responding. I haven't been responding for the last 6 8 months, over a year. uh, so this person now has been trying every festival, so they've had to move out of their comfort zone, and like saying Guru Nanak Jayanti, then they went to Eid Mubarak, Merry
Happy Eid. Yeah.
Christmas,
Yeah.
Happy Eid. Then it's gone into like smaller Lori and all that stuff. It's gotten into some very minor festivals, but I still wasn't responding. Then they got into Republic Day, Army Day, like these other sort of things, and now it's gotten to freedom fighters. So it's forwards of like Subhash Chandra Bose, and there's Ambedkar, and there's like just like, so he's trying to figure out what it is that's going to get me to click and say, "Arey, lovely," or "Hi, how are you?" So he's trying every angle basically to get a response, and I
So,
don't know how to. What do I do, Pal?
see, I'm saying that if you came from a unified culture, right? Like, say we lived
Yeah,
in Libya,
yeah,
right? And he was trying to get your attention. There's only few things he could
right,
do. Gaddafi, one or two things.
yeah,
If you came from Turkey, for example, he could Blue Mosque. He could send you a photo of Kemal Ataturk. Only few things. One of the benefits of
yeah,
coming from a pluralist society, right, is that he can send you anything. Like
yeah,
first he'll go through all the gods. Then that doesn't
yeah,
work. He can send you, Sri Sri Ravi Shankar. That doesn't
yeah.
work.
Spiritualish kind of
Sadhguru.
stuff.
He sends you, that
Sadhguru is
doesn't work.
also not
And
biting.
anything could work, right? He could
Some
suddenly
retro gurus he'll send. Osho.
Osho, Rajnikant, he can randomly send you. You're like, okay, that's not working. Shall we try old commercials? And he sends
Hmm.
you, Strepsils, Nirma.
Hmm.
And suddenly, all he needs you to just go, ha! I remember that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Boom, he has you. He has you.
He has me.
He has
Then
you.
then it'll be a barrage. Are, how are you, sir? When are we meeting up?
Yeah.
So all he needs is
Yeah.
that one sort of
One.
response to one. So if it's
One.
like, "Arey, I got you all with Rasna,
Yeah.
Rasna."
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
See, it could be anything. It could be Campa Cola, Sai Baba.
And the thing is that now I'm starting to find one or two of them a little bit interesting, because it's so many,
Yeah.
but I'm
Yeah.
still resisting. I'm like, no, I can't. This was a nice piece on, on B.R. Ambedkar, but I don't know. I can't. I won't. So, but he almost had me.
He almost
So
had you. Yeah,
So he's like his, like he's figuring out his own sort of operating system. It's his own algorithm, and he's circling around me. I can feel this person now. He's circling. He's narrowing it down.
yeah. If you come from a
Yeah.
country as rich in its history
Hmm.
as we are, he can go as far back as possible. Like he could send you a photograph of Aurangzeb's bum, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
And be like, happy Friday, sir. Here's a photo of
Hmm.
Aurangzeb's bum.
Yeah.
And you write back saying, was that really his bum? And then
Yeah. That's
obviously you
it.
have it. So the thing is that you will also be after a while quite interested. So there's
But
this.
imagine how much he has to distill to get to the one that I respond to.
Yeah,
I know it's rich.
yeah, yeah.
I'm saying, but it's tougher on him, I think, in many
But
ways.
don't you feel like as Indians, that's what we're always doing most of the time, right? Like even when you and I
Hmm.
met, we kind of threw
Yeah.
things at each other,
Yeah.
culturally, and some of those things stuck. You know,
Something
the
stuck. Yeah.
Woody Allen, this that, like things stuck. And I
Yeah.
feel like as Indians, we're always when we're like, "Where are you from? Where are you from?" Oh, Calcutta. Where in Calcutta? We're just looking for
Hmm.
things to stick. You know,
Some commonality.
yeah. Do you like Nirma?
Hmm.
Like
Oh, you're also Nirma fan. And then it'll go off. And
we
then
go
you sing a
off.
song together.
Then
Or you'll twirl.
hold
Yeah.
hands and be friends forever. But he's still got a lot to play with.
He's got a lot and he's got a lot of digging to do. So I wish him luck.
Yeah, whoever you are, good luck. Kunal,
Yes.
there's a last conundrum that's come in from a listener,
Okay.
and the listener, his name is Knitflix,
Okay.
and it's I guess he wants to know what movies or TV shows are you looking forward to seeing in 2023. It's okay to include any of your own projects. I'm definitely seeing SRK in Pathan. I'm hoping it's good. The trailer looks fantastic. I also want to see Polite Society. I'm impatient to see the second season of Sunflower and Duranga. Any recommendations? Thank you. I this I mean, thank you Netflix, but I'm not sure there's a conundrum here. I'll tell you what the conundrum is. The conundrum is
Hmm.
no one is going to the movies. That seems to be a conundrum.
Yeah, I think and I think I've made this point before. I think a lot of like earlier television used to be all U-rated stuff. You couldn't show a lot of stuff on television. Even I'm not even talking from the point of nudity or language. I'm just saying even ideas, and it was a lot simpler. A lot simpler themes, just simpler stories on television. And it was family viewing mostly. What happened in the last 10 years is that that's gone out the window. Now there's no there are very specific genres on television which are pushing a lot more with streaming, right? You've got nudity, bad language, and even thematically you've got stuff that they don't even show in films anymore. And we used
Mm.
to go to films to watch that visceral sort of content,
Oh, he
that
chopped his
those
head off.
that oh
Wow.
my god, that and then they were, and it was a story of these lovers, and then she goes crazy and she starts stalking him, and they have these wild sex scenes, and then suddenly it becomes those were thrillers. And and you couldn't do that on television. You could only do that in film, and you'd have that shared experience watching this kind of visceral kind of stuff. And even thematically they'd be really thick and dense, and these even the human stories would have more complex themes in them. And I think that what's happened is that a lot of that has shifted to your shows and to television and to your streaming platforms. So what you're left with on screen is just the visual spectacle stuff.
Yeah,
And so
yeah.
apart from that, people are not going because they're not getting thematically the stuff that used to draw them to the screen in the first place, which was, I mean, imagine you're seeing like Eyes Wide Shut on screen, or you're seeing Dangerous Liaisons, or you're seeing Disclosure, or you're seeing
Or
Basic Instinct, or you're seeing Goodfellas, or you're seeing Godfather, and you're seeing these movies which are, and now you're seeing that kind of stuff. You're not seeing that kind of stuff on screen because it's all on streaming, and on screen you have only these massive sort of visual extravaganzas, or your superheroes, or your car chases, or your aliens, or your, which is fine, but all the other stuff, the dramas and the other stuff that we used to actually really enjoy seeing on screen, uh, is not there anymore.
My only advice to Netflix is just eat more fiber, man. Just eat more fiber.
More fiber, and
More
try and
fiber.
get it from nuts.
Try and get it from good nuts. That is our
Yeah.
suggestion.
Enjoy.
Kunal,
Yes.
before we leave our listeners, we have to ask them a question.
Please ask them a question. Yes.
So, to our Patreon subscribers, hello, Patreons.
Hello.
Did you get your t-shirts? We have already shipped the t-shirts to all the Patreons residing in India. If you have got the t-shirt, then please let us know by posting a photo with the hashtag our last week. We would love to see you in t-shirts, which is
Yes.
much better than having to see us without t-shirts.
Oh, any day.
So, if you've received your t-shirts, please let us know, because if you wear your t-shirt, here's a threat, we'll wear ours.
We will wear.
Yeah.
We guarantee that we will wear.
And then anything can happen. Our job is to bring joy to your upper body. And it's coming soon.
Bye.
Bye.
You were listening to Our Last Week, produced by Rajesh Tahil and Avdoot Khanolkar, hosted by Anubhav Pal and Kunal Roy Kapoor, assistant producers Akansha Kadam and Rahul Vaswani.